In the heart of a sprawling kingdom, there lay a small village named Avarice. It was a quaint place, with cobblestone streets and a quaint marketplace, but the atmosphere was often thick with an undercurrent of competition. The villagers were known for their greed, always trying to outdo one another in amassing wealth. Among them, three men stood out for their exceptional avarice: Alaric the merchant, Balthazar the farmer, and Cedric the blacksmith. Alaric was a tall man with a sharp gaze and a silver tongue. He owned the largest shop in the village, filled with an array of goods from exotic spices to beautiful fabrics. His prices, however, were so inflated that many villagers could barely afford to purchase anything. Alaric thrived on the desperation of others, believing that every transaction should benefit him the most. Balthazar, the farmer, was a stocky man with calloused hands and a booming laugh that belied his true nature. He cultivated the richest fields in Avarice, but refused to sell his grains at reasonable prices. Instead, he hoarded them in his barn, waiting for the harvest to yield scarcity so he could charge exorbitant amounts for the essentials. He often proclaimed, "The more I have, the more powerful I become." Cedric, the blacksmith, was a man of few words, yet his creations spoke volumes. His forge was always ablaze, producing exquisite tools and weapons. Yet, he rarely sold anything, believing that if he waited long enough, the demand for his masterpieces would skyrocket. Cedric lived in a constant state of anticipation, convinced that his moment of true wealth was just around the corner. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over Avarice, a stranger arrived in the village. Clad in a tattered cloak and a wide-brimmed hat that obscured his face, he walked with a slow, deliberate pace. The villagers paused their activities to watch the mysterious figure as he made his way to the tavern. Inside, the tavern was bustling with laughter and chatter. The three greedy men sat at a corner table, boasting about their latest schemes. Alaric was regaling them with tales of how he had tricked a traveler into paying double for a silk scarf, while Balthazar bragged about his latest harvest, which he planned to sell at 3 times the usual price. "Have you heard about the hidden treasure in the mountains?" Cedric interjected suddenly, his eyes glinting with excitement. Alaric rolled his eyes. "Another one of your tall tales, Cedric?" But before Cedric could respond, the cloaked stranger approached their table. "You speak of treasure?" he asked, his voice low and gravelly. The three men turned to him, curiosity piqued. "Who are you?" Balthazar asked suspiciously. "I am Gideon, a traveler of the world," the stranger replied. "And I come bearing news of a treasure that can make you richer than you've ever dreamed." Gideon leaned in closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "Deep in the mountains lies a cave filled with gold and jewels. But to access it, you must prove your worthiness." Alaric's heart raced at the thought of untold riches. "What do we need to do?" he asked eagerly. "The cave only opens for those who embrace their desires. You must bring a token that represents your greed," Gideon explained. Balthazar's eyes gleamed. "This is our chance. We could become the wealthiest men in the kingdom." Cedric, however, felt a flicker of doubt. "What if it's a trap?" he asked, but his voice was drowned out by Alaric and Balthazar, who were already plotting their journey.